This is the evolution. To measure a kinetics experiment, I need to get to the right menu. Up here you can see there are choices. The one I want is this that says rate. I click on that. I want to now edit the method. If the method is not here in front of me, I go to Window, Method. Now I have some choices. What wavelength? What time interval? How quickly I take the readings. So I will set this, let's say, to 235 nanometers. Duration of time, 1 minute should be sufficient. 1 minute is sufficient if your rate is fast. If your rate is very slow, this might be 10 minutes or might even be 4 hours. But with the enzyme, our rate should be fast. Data interval is set right now to 5-second intervals. That should be sufficient, but I'll make more data points. I'll say 4-second intervals. So every 4 seconds it will take a reading. Integration time is 1/4 of a second. That's fine. I don't need to change anything else unless I have multiple samples. So here's the number of samples. In this case, I'm running 1. I need to prepare a baseline. In this case, my baseline will be just buffer. Over here, I click on this button up here. That makes the wavy line straight, baseline 0. I have already placed my sample in. There was a brief beep. That means that it is now baselined. I have added some ampicillin to my cuvette. I'm ready to now measure a reaction rate with the addition of enzyme. I can click on this icon which says Run. I can name my sample. When I hit proceed, the machine will start collecting data, so I don't want to do that until my reaction is actually running. I add my enzyme, put the lid on quickly, invert, pop it in the machine, and hit proceed. So the run is complete now. I can rescale my axes to make this graph look better. I just double-clicked to rescale the axes. You can see a fairly linear rate, starting to curve a bit here at the bottom as we run out of substrate. The molecule the enzyme is acting upon is called substrate. So we're running out of substrate here, so it curves. I want to find a linear rate. I'll take a linear rate in the beginning here. That's where it is going the fastest. There's a command here that says math, rate calculations. I want to do a linear search in a specific time interval. I drag over. I have to drag in the data that I want to analyze. So Go Demo is my sample. It says how big a section should we look for. Right now it's looking for a 28-second interval between 0 and 1 minute. So I want to change this to be between 0 and 30 seconds. 0:30 is what I want. So it's going to look for the initial rate within the first 28 seconds now. Let's go to the graph. Result labels right now are off. Okay, so here is my linear search in the beginning between these 2 points right here. And there's also a best fit for the entire 1 minute. That makes my graph look ugly though, so I'll take off the result labels and look at the results table. So the results table shows me this information. The overall rate is negative 0.542. That is absorbance units per minute. The linear search for the beginning is negative 0.560 absorbance units per minute. So this is the one I will use, the negative 0.560 absorbance units per minute, as a measure of my enzyme's activity. To make a report, I'll go up to here to Window, Report Composer, and I will take away this old data and replace with the ones I want. So I want to add an item from the rate method. I want to add the graph. So here I add the graph for my kinetics data. There it is. I want to also add item, rate, results table. I'll put that underneath. So that has my enzyme activity measured, as well as the graph. Up here I can type in an appropriate title for my report, and this can be printed, hard copy, and PDF over at the print menu. File, print, report. How do you want to print that, as a PDF or a hard copy?